to the members of O to the 4. You like that name? How about Go to the Jail? The Young Bag Chasers. So Pit Boys, Southside Stizzy, Zoo Gang, P&B, Brickyard Mafia, Topsiders, 5th Street, 7th Street, Wilson Park. Time is up. Or you're going to go to the jail.
Authorities, prosecutors say that they found some YouTube videos from these men in particular who were bragging about what was going on, and that they say the motive behind these shootings was notoriety. Well, they did get noticed by law enforcement. It says 4 men, members of a gang, are responsible for 5 shootings. 2 men were killed, 5 others were shot and injured. Dante Sutton, Jameer Brunson Gans, Elijah Soto, and Khalil Henry have been charged with homicide and gun crimes.
The Attorney's Office announced that they arrested and charged 20-year-old Anthony Lacey Woodson, a.k.a. Pistol P, a member of gangs 46th Street Boys and O to the 4 on Thursday, as well as 22-year-old Jalen Mickens, in connection to Mahmoud's and 2 additional shootings that same day, July 4th, 2021.
Philadelphia has been plagued by a surge in gang-related violence in recent years, with organized criminal groups such as O to the 4, Big Natty Gang, BNG, and Omerta contributing to numerous deletions, shootings, and financial crimes. Law enforcement agencies, including the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, the FBI, and the Secret Service, have worked together to dismantle these organizations, leading to a series of arrests and federal indictments. These investigations have exposed the extent of gang influence in the city, from deletion for hire schemes and retaliatory to large-scale financial fraud and social media-fueled recruitment tactics. The crackdowns mark a crucial step in restoring safety to communities like Strawberry Mansion and West Philadelphia, which have suffered from ongoing violence.
The District Attorney's Office announced that they arrested and charged 20-year-old Anthony Lacey Woodson, a.k.a. Pistol P, a member of gangs 46th Street Boys and O to the 4 on Thursday, as well as 22-year-old Jalen Mickens, in connection to Mahmoud's and 2 additional shootings that same day, July 4th, 2021. Mahmoud, a business owner, attended a community party for a new business when investigators say 4 people opened fire, also 23-year-old Sircarr Johnson Jr. and wounding 2 others. Today, investigators outlined a handful of other Southwest and West Philadelphia shootings that they say stemmed from ongoing feuds between 2 groups of various gangs, including of another innocent victim, 15-year-old Antonio Walker Jr. in March. They believe the feud might have started in January 2021 after Lacey Woodson's uncle was. Assistant District Attorney Jeffrey Palmer says the gangs are small groups of friends associated with certain geographical blocks, but with no strict leader, that brag about their gang activity on social media, often in rap videos on YouTube.
Authorities in Philadelphia have made significant progress in curbing gun violence by arresting several alleged gang members, part of the O to the 4 gang, believed to be responsible for numerous deadly and non-deadly shootings over the past 2 years.
Killed 22-year-old Sircarr Johnson. He was hosting the get-together to celebrate his business's success.
Heavily armed private security kept watch on 60th Street between Chestnut and Walnut as the screams of a mother rang out with the volume of 100 gunshots.
People are cruel! I knew they was going to take my baby!
4 gunmen fired into a crowd celebrating a 4th of July cookout in front of the Premier Band clothing store. A 16-year-old girl was injured and 2 men, including 21-year-old Salahuddin Mahmoud, a relative of State Senator Sirif Street, and the store owner and cookout host Sircarr Johnson.
A young entrepreneur, 23.
While police continue searching for additional suspects, the arrests have brought a sense of relief to families who have long awaited justice. Pamela Allensby, the mother of 23-year-old Sircarr Johnson, expressed deep gratitude upon learning that her son's alleged had been caught. Johnson was fatally shot while hosting a 4th of July barbecue outside his clothing store in West Philadelphia in 2021. Surveillance footage captured the horrifying moment when a gunman fired more than 100 rounds along 60th and Sansom Streets. Johnson passed away instantly, along with 21-year-old Salahuddin Mahmoud, a cousin of State Senator Sirif Street's wife, April. The 16-year-old girl was also injured in the shooting but survived. Allensby, who had been waiting for justice for 17 months, said she often feared that authorities had given up on the case, but now feels reassured that law enforcement remain committed to solving the crime.
Today, I caught up with the grieving mother of one of the victims.
just very inquisitive, very just always wanted more.
A champion track star and A-plus student is how Nadisha Williams remembers her 15-year-old son, Antonio Walker. Authorities say Antonio was walking with his cousin on Pentridge Street in West Philadelphia to meet some friends back in March 2021 when someone in a car pulled up and opened fire. Antonio and leaving his mother shattered.
Every second of the day has been complete torture.
Authorities believe Anthony Lacey Woodson is among those responsible for Antonio's death. Williams describes the moment she found out he was taken into custody.
They called his father on Friday, and he called me, and I was just shaken. Because
District Attorney Larry Krasner stated that those arrested are now facing a vigorous and just prosecution. The Dawes office believes that a small group of individuals has been responsible for a large portion of the city's violence, and the recent arrests mark a significant step in addressing the issue. Among those taken into custody is Anthony Lacey Woodson, who is accused of being involved in the 2021 deletion of 15-year-old Antonio Walker. Walker, a standout student and champion track athlete, was walking with his cousin on Pentridge Street in West Philadelphia when a car pulled up and opened fire, meeting his demise instantly. His mother, Nadisha Williams, recalled the moment she learned of the arrest, saying she had nearly lost hope in the justice system, but now feels reassured that authorities are working to bring those responsible to justice.
Chandra Jones was shot in the new car she had just proudly bought for herself just the week before while working 2 jobs in September 2021. Philadelphia's homicide chief said one of the 2 fired an AK-47 at her as long as his leg. Chandra's aunt, who raised her since she was 9, said it made no sense at the time. And Friday, the district attorney's office called to tell her she was right, saying the targeted the wrong cars at 33rd and Diamond Streets with more than 40 shots for a gang contract, and that they shot the wrong people.
BNG, BNG, which stands for the Big Natty Gang.
Chandra was just one of 4 people the group of 8 men, now aged 19 to 25, are charged with within a 5-mile radius in Strawberry Mansion over 2 years because they kept shooting after Chandra's.
BNG members are responsible for 4 and 8 non-fatal shooting victims.
When she was killed, Chandra had a 3-year-old son. Now, nearly 3 years later, he has become aware.
After 4 men were arrested and charged in connection to 5 different shootings in the Strawberry Mansion neighborhood, tracking back to 2021. Prosecutors say the suspects are part of a street group called Big Natty Gang, or BNG. Now, one of those shootings happened right here on North 33rd Street, where 2 people were shot. And prosecutors also say that these men were also involved in another double non-fatal shooting that happened just 4 blocks away. Suspects Dante Sutton, Jameer Brunson Gans, Elijah Soto, and Khalil Henry were all teens at the time of the shootings and are now facing various and attempted charges. The DA's office says the gang was formed after one of their friends, 15-year-old Namir Johnson, was April 2021.
Sadly, after Big Natty was murdered, people who knew him, people who liked him, decided the best thing to do was more murders.
The 4 men were connected to the crimes by forensic evidence. Unlike many other investigations, prosecutors say the victims were not members of another rival group and drugs were not involved.
This group sought notoriety, they sought infamy, they sought attention, and that was part of the motivation for each and every one of these shooting incidents.
Prosecutors say the organized crime ring focused their attention on the Strawberry Mansion neighborhood in 2021. Various members are allegedly responsible for shooting 2 people July 14th on North 33rd Street, shooting a man on September 5th on the 3100 block of North Judson Street, carrying out the homicide of 19-year-old Jordan Murray the next day on the 2200 block of West Huntington Street, killing 33-year-old Jarek Jenkins on the 2900 block of West York Street September 18th, and shooting 2 people on October 4th, 2021 on the 2000 block of North 33rd Street.
Philadelphia authorities have announced charges against 4 members of a violent street group tied to multiple shootings, including fatal incidents in the city's Strawberry Mansion neighborhood nearly 2 years ago. The suspects, described as extremely dangerous by the district attorney's office, are linked to the Big Natty Gang, BNG, and are accused of being involved in 5 shootings that resulted in 2 people meeting their demise. Among those charged is Dondy Sutton, who faces 2 counts of attempted deletion for allegedly shooting and injuring 2 victims on July 14, 2021 on the 2400 block of North 33rd Street. He is also charged with deletion for a shooting that took place on September 18, 2021 on the 2900 block of York Street. Earlier this year, Sutton was also charged with 2 counts of attempted deletion for a separate non-fatal double shooting. Jameer Brunson Gans is accused of attempted deletion for a shooting that injured a victim on September 5, 2021 on the 3100 block of North Judson Street. He also faces a deletion charge for a shooting that occurred the following day, September 6, on the 2200 block of West Huntington Street. Elijah Soto is charged with 2 counts of the fatal shootings on September 6 and September 18, 2021. Cal Henry is charged with 1 count of deletion for his role in the September 18, 2021 shooting on York Street. Like Sutton, he was previously charged this year with 2 counts of attempted deletion. Investigators believe BNG was formed after the deletion of 15-year-old Namir Johnson in April 2021. Authorities say the suspects used Johnson's death as an excuse to carry out violent crimes, seeking to boost their reputation. Assistant District Attorney Joe Lanuti warned other gangs that law enforcement is actively working to dismantle criminal groups in the city, stating, "If you are a gang committing gun violence in Philadelphia, don't be surprised if you're next." Officials announced that a grand jury had implicated 8 individuals in a spray of shootings, which left 4 people dead and 8 others wounded. All 8 suspects face charges of deletion, attempted deletion, conspiracy, and other related offenses. Authorities confirmed that all but one of the individuals were members of BNG. According to Lanuti, the gang's violent activities stemmed from a range of crimes, including carjackings and deletion for hire schemes, but their primary goal was to establish a reputation for being feared. Authorities linked BNG members to at least 4, including the deletion of 24-year-old Chandra Jones, a mother of 2. Jones was gunned down near 33rd and Diamond Streets on September 29, 2021, in what investigators believe was a contract in which the shooters targeted the wrong people. 2 other women were also wounded in the attack. Officials allege that Soto, Sutton, Henry, and Hayes were involved in the September 18, 2021 deletion of 33-year-old Jarrett Jenkins on West York Street. Before that, Brunson Gans, Soto, and Sutton were accused of deleting 19-year-old Jordan Murray on September 6, 2021 on West Huntington Street. One day before Murray's death, Brunson Gans and Sutton allegedly attempted to delete another victim, who was shot multiple times on North Judson Street. Additionally, authorities claim Nakia Williams and Davis shot an individual leaving a candlelight vigil for a victim on October 10, 2021 on North 22nd Street. Finally, Nakia Williams is accused of deleting a 42-year-old Jemiel McCoy during a carjacking on January 2, 2022 near North 28th Street. During the briefing, Commissioner Bethel emphasized the challenge of dismantling gang networks in the city, stating that Philadelphia has well over 100 neighborhood-based gang sets. Unlike larger national gangs like the Bloods or Crips, Philadelphia's gangs tend to be smaller, fractured, and operate in close-knit communities. This makes them harder to track and dismantle, as members often collaborate while maintaining separate identities to avoid detection. Commissioner Bethel emphasized that breaking up BNG is a crucial step in improving safety in Strawberry Mansion, one of Philadelphia's most violent neighborhoods.
Together, 3 women were shot here this morning at this intersection in Strawberry Mansion. As you mentioned, one was killed. We spoke with that victim's family a short time ago, all as the city held its bi-weekly public violence hearing, and simply put, the situation is not getting better. The family of 24-year-old Chandra Jones will tell you that while she was small in stature, in every other way, she was larger than life.
Nothing was small about Chandra but that nickname, Smalls. She was a big person in a little body.
It was right around 2:30 this morning when Chandra left a bar in North Philadelphia. A short time later, about a mile away, at least 2 gunmen opened fire on her vehicle near the intersection of North 33rd and West Diamond Streets in Strawberry Mansion. Chandra, along with another woman in the vehicle and a third woman in a separate car, were all shot repeatedly. Investigators say at this point, all indications are this was not a random shooting.
In a major crackdown on organized crime, federal authorities unsealed a 9-count indictment in July 2024, charging 8 members and associates of the Philadelphia-based gang Omerta with offenses ranging from deletion and racketeering to large-scale fraud. Attorney Jacqueline C. Romero details how the gang used brutal tactics to maintain control over its territory in Strawberry Mansion, while also engaging in financial crimes. Authorities say Omerta had ties to the larger Zoo Gang, an alliance that expanded its reach within Philadelphia's criminal underworld. The indictment names 8 key individuals, including alleged leader Jallo Williams, also known as Bill, who is accused of orchestrating multiple deletions, drug trafficking, and running counterfeit operations. Other prominent defendants include Rakeem Savage, Fat Rock, and Harry Draper, Coach, both of whom are alleged to have played roles in managing the gang's financial crimes and illicit activities. The charges include racketeering conspiracy, RICO, for operating a criminal enterprise between 2018 and 2023, in aid of racketeering for the 2021 deletions of 24-year-old Chandra Jones and 14-year-old Samir Jefferson, and financial fraud involving $1.5 million in counterfeit currency schemes and $443,000 stolen from COVID-19 relief programs. Omerta's influence was largely enforced through violence and intimidation, with several deadly incidents linked to the gang. In September 2021, members mistakenly targeted 24-year-old Chandra Jones, a young mother, in a botched deletion for hire plot that also left 2 women wounded. Prosecutors allege the hit was ordered by Williams as part of a gang retaliation. 2 months later, in November 2021,
breaking right now, sources tell Action News 2 people of interest are now in custody in connection to the of a 14-year-old. The teenager was shot dead just about 24 hours ago in the Feltonville section of Philadelphia.
Waiting to take the bus home after school, police say 14-year-old Samir Jefferson was struck at least 18 times throughout his body by gunfire. Police say he was rushed to a local hospital where he died. This all taking place around 3:30 in the afternoon on Monday. Today, some people stopped by to pray or wear signs, fed up with the gun violence.
14-year-old Samir Jefferson was shot waiting at a bus stop. Prosecutors claim Omerta members targeted Jefferson after suspecting him of mocking the gang online or being affiliated with a rival group. Additional shootings tied to Omerta were reportedly linked to territorial disputes, and authorities suggest the gang was planning further violent attacks before the indictment was issued. Beyond its violent activities, Omerta was heavily involved in financial crimes, which played a crucial role in funding its operations. Members operated a counterfeit currency network, using fake bills of businesses across the eastern seaboard, and sometimes resorting to armed robbery when cashiers refused to accept the counterfeit money. The gang also exploited the COVID-19 unemployment system, filing fraudulent claims through Instagram group chats to illegally obtain government relief funds. Unlike traditional mafia groups that followed a strict code of silence, Omerta members openly glorified their crimes on social media, using music videos, custom clothing, and Instagram posts to recruit members, intimidate rivals, and build their reputation. Prosecutors also revealed that Williams continued to direct Omerta's activities from jail using smuggled cell phones, showing how the gang adapted to law enforcement pressure. This indictment highlights the changing nature of organized crime, where street gangs now combine violence with digital fraud to maximize profits. Omerta's connection to the Zoo Gang suggests that their network extends beyond Philadelphia, making this a significant case for law enforcement. Federal prosecutors are using RICO charges to dismantle these criminal operations, with potential life sentences looming for the gang's leadership. For the Strawberry Mansion community, this indictment represents a long-awaited victory after years of violence and intimidation. The case sends a strong message that modern crime syndicates, despite their adaptability, remain vulnerable to law enforcement action. As the trials progress, prosecutors hope these charges will not only hold Omerta's leaders accountable, but also break the cycle of gang violence that has plagued Philadelphia's streets. The recent arrests and indictments represent a significant victory for law enforcement and the residents of Philadelphia. By removing key gang members from the streets and pursuing charges under RICO laws, authorities are taking a firm stand against the city's growing gang problem. However, the work is far from over. While statistics indicate a decline in deletions, Law enforcement officials emphasize the need for continued efforts to prevent further violence and dismantle other criminal networks operating in the city. As these cases move forward in court, the hope is that justice will be served for the victims and that Philadelphia can take another step toward long-term safety and community stability.